guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a story time video, and this video is sponsored by Coventry University UK. So you guys, you need to go and click the like button now to show your support. Anyways, I'm going to be talking about my experience studying in the UK. I did a blog post once, which I think was last year or the year before, talking about my experience studying in the UK, but I realized that I have different audiences. I have some that read just the blog, and I have some of you guys that are just on YouTube. So I decided to do this as a story time video and give you guys more gist, because that one was like straight to the point. This one we're going to be gisting about my experience. Do you know that year when I traveled for my master's was my first time leaving Nigeria? It was epic. It was also my first time on a plane, like first time ever in my life on a plane. It was an experience, and I'll gist you guys. So before we go into this video, click the subscribe button and I'll be right back with the gist. So back to the gist. That day when I was leaving, oh gosh, I was leaving from Warri, so you should have known how it was for me. Like, I left from Warri, went straight to Lagos, and I came with my family, like everybody that was my well-wishers. I came with my friends. I came with my parents, of course. Like, it was so emotional. There were tears were shed. But I was like, man, I'm leaving this country. I'm going abroad. Let me tell you guys something. I used to read a lot of books. I'm a reader, and I used to read about snow, and I was like, the first thing I'm going to do when I get there is touch snow. I'm going to know what snow feels like. We had a freezer at home, and you know when the fridge would get frosty, I used to scrape the top of the fridge. So I used to feel like that was snow, you know, that frost that comes from the fridge. But I couldn't wait to experience it. So I was like, when I get to this UK, the first thing I would do is touch snow. Another thing, I wanted to eat cheese. Don't ask me why, because anytime I watch a movie or read a book, cheese, like I wanted to eat cheese. I wanted to drink English tea. I just wanted to experience like that UK life. I was looking forward to it. Like, I think I was the most excited person in the world today, and I was so happy. When I got on the plane, like, I was just a journey just come. I got the window seats, so I was very excited about that. I love window seats. Oh boy, now I sleep on the plane. Do you know the food passed me? When I woke up, I saw the man sitting beside me. The guy was eating. I couldn't even open my mouth to ask bros how far. I was like, man, when they catch me, I couldn't even ask him. And then I thought people paid for it, and I'm like, I don't want to ask, oh, how much is this buns this guy is eating? And then they tell me it's maybe £10, and I realized that it's way out of my budget, because you know our parents give us budget, like you must not spend beyond this. And you know our Nigerian parents, they really do a lot. They do a lot. Like, they help me financially to do my postgraduate. Like, I have to spend this money wisely. Plus, I've heard of shopping malls. So I was saving my money for the main. And I ended up not eating anything on that flight because I thought we had to pay for it. Nobody told me. Anyways, when I got to the airport, I was like, wow. Like, I was so happy. I was like, wow. In fact, by the time I was taking pictures, I looked different. I felt everything felt different. I looked fresher. In like 10 minutes, so I've already started seeing the difference. I look fresher. I felt very happy. I met my sister-in-law at the airport. Then she wasn't my sister-in-law, she was just my boyfriend's sister. But she tried for me. She took me to a shopping mall, and since that day, she has never taken me to another shopping mall, because see, this video is so funny because I'm just remembering my first experience. I spent, I'm sure, over 7 to 8 hours in the mall. We walked to and fro. And later she was like, I've never seen anybody that can shop like you. Me that I'm used to markets, like I'm used to main market, trekking up and down under the sun. You know, give me cool weather and tell me to walk from sun. Like, my eyes were going bam. Everything I could see. But this video is not about shopping. This video is about my experience in general, and also the educational bits. I remember getting into my class for the first time. I was so scared. I was like, I don't even know what I'm expecting to see. But I was so happy when I got in. I saw about 4 black people like me, they look like me, and then when they spoke, I was like, oh, Nigerians. I was very, very happy about that. And then I saw people from all walks of life, different continents. I wouldn't even say country. I saw people from Malaysia, I saw people from France, I met people from India, so many places, and I'm like, wow, all of us came together from wherever we came from to come and study in this place. It was it was multicultural, it was so diverse, like wow. I was blown away my first day in class, and I have to tell you guys something. For like 1 week straight, I could not understand what my lecturer was saying because, you know, my ears were not used to the British accent. After every lecture, I'll go home and read, because I couldn't understand a word the guy was saying, but after a while I got used to it. And then there was something else I got used to, because in Nigeria most of our classes are really packed, so you don't really get one-on-one like that with the lecturer. But the lecture room wasn't packed, maybe 20 people, 30 people, and then the teacher has time for you or the lecturer has time for you. And for me it wasn't a good thing, because they pointed at me so many times to answer questions, and I just used to marvel at how people could explain themselves and talk and talk. Like when they asked them, I studied international diplomacy, so first of all I studied mass communication in Nigeria, then went to do something more professional, and that was awesome for me. I will tell you why later. But a lot of my peers, they studied like political science, so they knew what they were talking about, talking. And anytime they would ask me questions, I would just be like, but after a while, I started getting more confident. I started expressing myself better, and everything just became better in general. Like I went to the library, I studied, I made new friends, I started talking to people. I kind of understood my purpose in life better. It was an amazing experience. My dissertation, like if anybody told me I would have written that dissertation by myself, I would have said, I would not have believed it. But I wrote a dissertation and I graduated with a merit. So that was, like for me, it was a big deal. My graduation day was a very exciting time for me, for my family, because I was so proud of myself and what I achieved. And my whole total experience living in the UK turned my life around. And I'll tell you how. The first thing is, studying in the UK gave me this spirit of self-reliance, not depending on people to do everything for me. You know, come from Nigeria, I have people to help sometimes with a lot of things. But when I was living there, if you want to change light bulb, you change yourself. Like you have to do a lot of DIY, and I think that's almost how I got into YouTube, because I was trying to DIY some wigs, trying to DIY my hair, just trying to do a lot of things by myself. And this made me, I would say, a bit independent. It made me independent in my thoughts, in a lot of things. I was managing my money by myself. I was in a house by myself, like I rented an apartment by myself. Like I did a lot of things by myself, things that I never thought I could do. In Nigeria, I never used to travel. I lived in Warri, and we only go to Lagos like once a year with my parents. So I've never really traveled by myself, but when I was in the UK, I could travel by myself, go to from one place to the other. In fact, travel within Europe, it was an amazing experience. I wish I took more travel opportunities, but I did travel to a few places. It's a good place to experience culture, experience so many things. That time I was forming saving money, but in retrospect, I feel like I should have used that money to travel some more, because the money I saved, I can't even remember what I used this for. So I think I should have traveled some more, definitely. But I'm just trying to let you guys know how independent thinking I became. Me, that I could never go from here to there. Now I became somebody that was traveling up and down here and there. Plus that time we went to see boyfriend all the way in Grenada. I would never have chopped that kind of mind before, but I did. So I became more independent. I became more assertive, because I knew I was beginning to find myself. That's the word. I was beginning to know who I was, and I was beginning to develop a lot of confidence. And I used to have a bit of self-esteem issue before. I've talked about this in a previous video. But because I felt like I was within my niche, I was doing what I was supposed to be doing now, I was more confident, and my self-esteem was like very, very high. So I was feeling very, very cool with myself. Studying in the UK helped me, experience people's culture. I've been talking about this culture thing. When you live in your country, for example, when I live in Nigeria, sometimes it's easy for people to think the world is just us, just our culture, and our culture is more dominant than anything. This is how we do it. But when I met like Indian people, Asian people, like Chinese, different places, French people, people from Holland, people from Ireland, like I met all sorts of people, and I became more, I became more open, more accommodating of people's views, because sometimes when we go and argue, sometimes everybody's like, this is how it's done, this is how it's done. No, I became more accommodative of people's opinions and idea. I understood then that it was okay to agree to disagree. I became, I can't, exposed is the word. I was exposed to a lot of great things, and that in itself is one of those things you need to live in this society. And you can't afford to be closed-minded. You have to be open-minded to experience life properly. One thing I'm grateful for is that I had a lot of amazing work experience. I worked in a hotel, I worked in a hospital, and my final job was in a bank. So I had different types of experiences. I worked in hospitality, I worked in customer service, I worked as a mortgage advisor. Can you imagine? I did all that kind of job, and all those experiences helped shape my life. Also, because there was like 24 hours internet, 24 hours electricity, I was seeing the kind of jobs people were doing. Back in Nigeria here, everybody goes to work like Monday to Friday. Like that's what I was used to. Either you have a business, which was a typical like market business, like open a shop or something. I've never really, before then, I never really thought about like an online business. What I'm doing now, I never really thought about it. But it was when I was in the UK, I was watching YouTube videos and seeing people saying they make a living off their blog. I'm like, what are you talking about? And it was like, to me, it was so strange. I'm not even going to lie. It was so strange. And I was like, I need to research more on this. And this is how I started my blog. So if you've heard my story of how I started blogging, that was part of the thing that informed my decision, because my boyfriend was telling me that, my husband, he was like, go and look into this blogging thing. I'm like, yes, I have to look into it. I opened the blog immediately and I started. But watching like international bloggers and vloggers, I was like, I've never heard about vlogging in Nigeria. So by the time I came back, I was more open to vlogging. I made sure before coming back, I bought my camera, I bought everything I needed. And when I came, I'm like, I can't see people vlogging. I checked online, I couldn't see vloggers. I'm like, are you sure this thing can work in Nigeria? I know people make money online in the UK and in other countries, but are you sure this can work in Nigeria? And I started then. I was one of the first few people doing it. And even till now, there are not a lot of people doing it. A lot of people still think to vlog, you need like big gadgets, you need, you need to go and hire a camera crew, everything. But I feel myself, I'm just with a camera in front of me. These are the cameras I bought when I was coming back. So I've been using these cameras for a long time, you see, and they've served me well. What I'm trying to say is, when I lived in the UK, it exposed me to this kind of life. I realized that I could work from home. Like when people say work from home, I'm like, work from home? What are you working from home doing? But that's what I'm doing now. And I'm just so grateful, because if I didn't travel, there was no way, and let me not even deceive you, even if I learned it in Nigeria, there was no way I would be doing it at the level which I'm doing now. So I am just so grateful for that experience, because it exposed me to the kind of work life that I have now. Now I stay at home with my child, I work from home, and I get to do amazing things, and I get to connect with people all over the world. Is this not international diplomacy? This is mass communication and international diplomacy coming together as one. I've had opportunities to work with agencies, with international organizations, talking about ethics, talking about what I studied in school, and this was not planned at all. These things just came to me. So I think this was just This was just amazing, amazing. And I don't think I would have gotten any of this without going abroad, going to the UK to study. A lot of these universities offer a lot of courses, like a university now like Coventry University. They offer awesome courses like business and organization. You can get an MSc in business and organization. You can get an MBA in international business, an MBA in global business, an MA in international relations, which is similar to international diplomacy, an MSc in oil and gas management. You know, Nigeria is one of those countries. Oil and gas is still a big deal here. So you can get an MSc in oil and gas management. I think one of my friends studied something like that and she's using it now. Do you guys know that Coventry University, they're currently ranking 15th on the Guardian League table for 2017. When you're going to school in the UK, that's something you need to check out, so that you're going to a school that has a good standing. That's one of the things I checked out when I was going to university. Also, Coventry University, they rank 4th for teaching and student satisfaction, meaning people are happy that they went to the university. I'm sure I have a lot of people from Coventry. You guys should leave your experiences below. Just leave it below in the comment section. Coventry University has also been awarded a maximum 5 out of 5 for employability, meaning you get a job teaching and internationalization in the QS star rating. I can't sit down here and tell you guys all the courses they offer, so I'm going to put a link below in the description box of all the courses that they offer. I think you guys should definitely check it out. You know, I was telling you guys about the work experiences I had, you know, working in hospitality. I worked front of house, back of house. I worked in customer service. I worked in a bank as a mortgage advisor. It means I have a lot of experiences. I get asked all the time, Cecilia, should I study my master's abroad? And the answer I will tell you is going to come from my experience. I grew up a lot in my years in the UK, even though it wasn't a very long time, but I definitely grew up in those years. I gained my self-esteem, I validated myself, I traveled, I experienced culture, I saw things from a different perspective. I grew emotionally, I learned how to manage my finances because of course I was staying alone, no mommy, no daddy. I just developed a sense of self by the time I was there, and when I came back I started seeing things differently. I started trying to work smarter instead of just harder, and my life in general I feel is just so much better since I studied abroad, especially because you gain knowledge not just from what they teach you in school, but from your experiences, the experiences around you, the people you meet from different cultures, everything. I still keep in touch with my, you know, my postgraduate degree friends till now. We follow each other on social media. So I would say give it a go. I would definitely recommend that you study abroad if that's what you really want. Don't hesitate to do it now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe for more videos from me, and don't forget to check out Coventry University because they sponsor this video. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.